Hey friends, it is Susan from LegsLikeMine.com today, and I am having a deep thought moment. So I thought I would just share with you. I actually wrote a blog post about it this morning too, but I was just thinking, so I'm watching my husband who is losing weight like crazy with Manjaro, and we cut out processed foods and most sugars from our diets as well, and it's just working so well. And then I've been, watching Dr. Nicholas Penning's work on how these weight loss drugs like GLP-1 agonists and GIPs, Manjaro, Wegovy, name it, Victoza. I mean, there's just so many brand names now, Zepbound, right? And people who have lipedema have been reporting like, hey, I'm losing weight for one thing. And two, we're hearing people who are saying like, my pain in my legs is starting to really reduce and I'm having good, experiences with it. So I just had this crazy thought, right? Not necessarily these drugs, but what if we woke up tomorrow, right? And there was a shot that you could take that would cure lipedema if you already had it, or that our daughters could take one time and it would just completely prevent them, a prevention, right? Where we know they've got the genetic propensity to develop lipedema as their hormones change and stuff, but they took this shot and never had to experience all of the things. What would life be like if suddenly we just basically could flip a switch and lipedema was gone? How would your life change? And so I was thinking about it, and I'd be like, the first thing that would change for me is, although I love my compression, I do, I wear Bioflex and they feel like really comfy, cozy, and kind of like a little warm hug every day. Um, but I would ditch that compression so fast. Right, wouldn't you? I mean, and especially people who wear like the true medical grade compressions and the stuff that you can just, you're walking around and your legs are stiff all the time. You'd be ditching that compression so fast. But think about the other things that would change, like um, the 2 hours a day we spend like using our pneumatic compression pumps and extra time in the pool and dry brushing, doing MLD, going to see our lymphedema therapists, wrapping and bandaging. Oh, bandaging can just go right out the window. Gone. But all that extra stuff that we do just because we have lipedema, what if we just didn't have to do it anymore? We woke up one day and we're like, oh, I have 2 more hours in my life today. Um, Obviously, we would still exercise because all of a sudden we'd feel lighter and we'd be doing things that we haven't been able to do for a long time because maybe we have mobility issues or we're over the weight limit or whatever, right? So just think about that with me for a second. Like, what would happen to your personal life, right? If there was just boom, a cure for lipedema one day, and assuming medically we could survive the change in weight and all that stuff, like, right? I mean, like, we lived through it, right? So that's one thing. But then think too about like all of the businesses that, thank God, they've been built to support us while there is no cure. Like all of the surgeons that are in business and all they do is take care of lipedema patients now, right? And all of the compression companies and the people who provide therapy, right? The people that literally are boots on the ground working with us to help us keep our swelling down and stuff like that. Like all their businesses, would they be wiped out? That's a weird question to think, right? And then finally, the other thing I was thinking about is what would happen to all of these lipedema communities and websites and pages and stuff that have popped up? Like, would we just basically be like, well, don't need that anymore and shut them all down? Or would there be some reason that we would stick together and continue having a community? I like to be positive and think, oh, yeah, we would find other reasons. But I think realistically, too, that we would move on with our lives. You know what I mean? Like, I think some of us, there are a lot of people in the community that I've become like really good friends with and would continue to be friends with, obviously, because I'm just so grateful that we came in contact with each other and we're like-minded and stuff. But then I think too, like, I wouldn't be blogging every day. What would I blog? you know, all of my books I would pull off of Amazon and be like, well, those aren't needed anymore. It's just like historical. It'd be like when polio was eradicated, right? Basically eradicated. I mean, obviously, there are still some people, sadly, who still live in iron lungs because they got it before there was a cure. But anyway, for the most part, like all that stuff that we've done, we would just move on with our lives. And in a few years, no one would even remember. I don't know. Just sort of blew my mind. Anyway, I'm super interested to know, like, am I crazy for even thinking this way? Like, I believe in our lifetimes we will find a cure for lipedema, and that eventually we won't need all of this, right? But how would your life be different? What are the downstream impacts that would happen if there was suddenly a cure for lipedema? Something to think about. I'm dying to know what you think. Maybe there's some part of it that I haven't even thought about yet. Drop me a comment. I'm all over social media. I'm on LegsLikeMine.com, Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, right? Twitter. Anyway, let me know what you think. I might actually do a follow-up blog post if I get any interesting comments, and I'll be sure and give you a shout out if you shared a comment that was helpful. Right? That might just open up our perspectives to positive thoughts and um, maybe getting our minds ready for what our lives might be like if we got better. All right. I will see you later. I'm going to go see if I can wake this cat up behind me. Y'all have a good day. Bye.